Beginner's hell for salsa leads is this frustrating phase when you know a few moves, but you just can't execute them very well in a real dance. You're overthinking, you're forgetting your steps, you're falling off beat, your lead probably isn't very clear, and you're constantly worrying if your partner is having a good time. Basically, you just can't enjoy a dance. So the question becomes, how do I exit this beginner's hell as fast as possible? So first, I'm going to talk about the mistakes that keep you in beginner's hell, and then we're going to talk about how long it takes to get out of it. First, let's look at the mistakes that stop you from escaping beginner's hell. There's 5 categories. You've got timing, technique, moves, mindset, and then process, the way you practice. I've talked a lot about this stuff in other videos, so whenever possible, I'm going to link to them above and below. First up is timing, being able to find the one, find the beat, dance on beat for an entire song. If you can't do that yet, that's the first thing you want to be able to do, and I've got a course that's going to help you, how to find the beat in salsa music. Number 2, what a lot of beginners do, and I did this a ton when I was learning salsa, is they just want to do everything fast. When you do something fast, you can gloss over your errors, and then you just don't have to deal with the mistakes you're making and fix them. And so by slowing things down, by counting slowly, 1, 2, 3, or just using a slow song, you're going to force yourself to do things slowly and make sure your technique is right. So don't rush, make sure you're able to do things slow. Next up, we have technique, and the common technique errors start with your weight shifts. So are you dropping your heel on your back breaks? That's an inefficient weight transfer. If salsa is fast, you're not going to be able to react. The next one is taking steps that are too big. You want to make sure you can take nice small steps, or if you want to, take big ones. But if you only take big steps, you're going to be out of control and you're probably going to go off beat. Poor preparations, not being able to show your intention to the follow of what's coming next. This is probably because you have poor timing or you're not sure of your arm position, etc. But when you can't show a clear preparation, the follow is going to be lost. A perfect metaphor is you're on a dark street and you have a woman in front of you, you're both walking on the sidewalk, but she's got her back to you. If you run up behind her, you are going to scare the living shit out of her, and that's not good. That's what happens when you don't prepare your movements. What you want to do is you want to walk towards her so she knows you're coming and there's no surprises. Being awkward and heavy, and this happens in a few ways. A lot of people have very poor balance. So when they're stepping, they're not using the insides of their foot and they're rolling their ankles out, or they're turning their feet in, which doesn't allow them to have tension in their legs, use their glutes, or use their core to balance them, especially when they're turning. Poor posture. Posture is the main piece of your frame. If you bend over like Mr. Burns in The Simpsons like this, and you hunch, you're not gonna have a good frame to control and send signals to your partner. So instead of hunching, you wanna be tall with your chest up, like this. That stacks your head, your shoulders, your hips, and your feet in one line and gives you a chance to send clear signals to your partner and have smoother dances. Building on the mistake of poor posture, these two go together, is having heavy arms. And that's often because you're using your shoulders instead of your lats. So when you have bad posture, you're always going to be hunched and using shoulders to lift your arms or pulling with your biceps. When you have good posture and stand up tall and have your joints stacked up, you can focus on using your lats to move your arms. So you're not lifting your arms from your shoulders. That's going to make you feel really tense and heavy. You also don't want to have your elbows up when you're dancing or doing turns. You want your elbows down and relaxed. And specifically for the follows, if you're doing a turn, your arms should be at 90 degrees right in front of your body, and it should never be kind of breaking off behind you. So if you find that that's happening, put one arm on top of you, or one arm on top of the other to give yourself a frame, and that's where your arm should always stay while doing turns. Next up is awkward hand connection, and this is huge for beginners, but then also intermediates who want to get to a higher level because you're going to have lots of hand switches very quickly. So beginners often start grabbing or pinching, and that doesn't allow hands to rotate. So the follow should have a nice cup, and the lead should have 1 or 2 finger connection that connects with that cup. And you never want to have it break apart. So the follow should always be ever so slightly pushing or just making sure there's a connection. That's their job. And as a lead, you want to make sure you stay there and have your hand available to rotate. Next up, you have no basic movement or salsa coordination in your body. This is one of the things you want to focus on right from the beginning because it takes a while to get it. And it's what makes salsa look like salsa. Not only does it look good, but when you start moving correctly, that makes your technique in your dancing feel so much better and your leads so much clearer. Okay, so we've got timing, we've got technique, now we're on to the moves. A lot of people think you need a million moves to have a fun You really don't. You need 10 at most. And this is going to be your basic steps, your right and left turn, your cross-body lead, let's call it a New York walk, which is just a cross-body lead, but the follow pivots to the right at the end instead of pivoting to the left. And then a block, which is just learning how to, a block or a check, stopping the follow and sending them back in the same direction. There's lots of ways that can apply in your dancing, but you can just do it in a cross-body. And next, a change of place, which people often call enchufla, which is from Cuban salsa. And then the inside turn, the outside turn, and the reverse cross-body. So maximum you need 10 moves to have an enjoyable dance. No more than that. And you want to learn the names of those moves so that you actually remember them. So when you go to your class, make sure the teachers are telling you the names of the moves. And for shines, you're halfway there. You've already got your basics and your right and left turn. At most, you need 2 or 3 more steps just to have enough variety to play with the different rhythms in the music. So what would that be? Suzy Q, chord beat walks, so walking 1, 3, 5, 7. You could go sideways, forwards, in a circle, it doesn't matter. And then the step touch is also a great addition. Now we're on to mindset, and this is probably the biggest factor in escaping beginner's hell faster. Now drill this into your head, leads. I will get there. All I need to do is practice smart and put in the work. If you believe that, if you believe that you'll get there and all you have to do is practice smart and put in the work, then your work is cut out for you. Don't stress, don't worry if you make mistakes, don't worry if you have negative experience along the way, because you're gonna get there, you just have to practice smart and put in the work. Now, here's a couple other mindset tips to help you out along the way. Leads, your job is not to impress your partner. All you have to do is make sure your partner feels safe, treat them with respect, and try and have fun. It's teamwork, not everything is on your shoulders. And follows, your job is not to tell the future. You don't have to guess or anticipate what's coming, just internalize the techniques you're being taught, react to what the lead is giving you. And then give the lead an encouraging energy, smile, because the lead is super overwhelmed at this stage and they could really use your support. Put your fear aside and ask for dances. Don't grab someone, ask with your palm up, and yes, they can say yes or no. If they say no, it's not about you. There's a million reasons they could say no. And if you're really afraid to ask, you're super shy, just do some exposure therapy. The first night, ask one person to dance, or ask a friend, someone you know from class. Go before the social and do the class so that you meet a few new friendly faces. Second night, ask 2 people. Third night, ask 3 people. Just work your way up. Don't think about it too much. Don't blame your partner if something goes wrong. Assume full responsibility, check for yourself before you blame your partner, and go to class and ask your teacher what went wrong. Along with that, don't teach someone on the social dance floor. It's not a class, they didn't ask for it, it's very rude. Lastly, dance is one of those amazing social skills that you could have. Invest in the people, make new friends, learn their names, ask if they're coming to the social next week, invite new friends who have never danced before. Invite your dance friends to the social. Make it a part of your social life. There's no rush to become a pro. You're in this for the long game. You just want to enjoy the journey. Because when you do that, you have these rich connections with people, you're gonna have more fun and have a much more positive, happy life. Now, this is where we get to errors in the process. How long is this gonna take? Is this gonna take months or is this gonna take years? To figure this out, let's use Charlie Munger's inversion technique. So Charlie Munger is one of Warren Buffett's business partners. He's known to be a master investor and a very clear, rational thinker. His inversion technique is a way to solve problems backwards. So instead of asking what will lead to a success, ask yourself, what is sure to lead to failure? And then avoid those things. So here's what to do if you want to guarantee failure and spend a bunch of years in beginner's hell. No guidance. You have no teacher, no program, and no structure. No feedback. Inconsistent practice, unfocused practice, and you're rushing. You're not taking your time in learning how to do things slow, or this is your comfort zone and you're trying to jump to this being your comfort zone. If you learn too far out of your comfort zone, you're gonna get frustrated and it's not gonna work. You can't make these mental leaps to this being your skill set. You have to expand slowly by working at the edge of your comfort zone. a challenge that is just hard enough. Now here's the kicker. Your insecurity and your lack of confidence are a direct result of those 5 process mistakes. If you do those 5 things and they're positive, you're going to start having successes in your practice. That's going to translate to successes in your social dancing. And when you have those successes, those mini successes build up and they create what we call confidence. That's literally everything you need to know about getting out of beginner's hell faster. Don't overcomplicate it. It's simple, but it's not easy, and it takes focused effort. Everything I've just talked about, you can either learn here on this YouTube channel or in our online program, which, by the way, you can try free for 7 days. If you want an online program to help you with those processes, with the guidance, with the feedback, knowing what to work on, go to thedancedojo.com. I guarantee you this is going to change the game for you. Regardless, I'm here to help you in any way I can, so put your questions in the comments below. I want to see more of you excelling in less time. It took so many years for me to get better, so if I can shortcut that for you in any way, I want to do it. Plus, we can't let bachata take over the world, all right? So we got to work together on this. That's it for this week. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, click subscribe, come back, watch more videos. I would love to see you in the online program if that calls out to you. If not, no worries. I hope this helps you on your journey. That's it, and I'll catch you in next week's video. Peace.